Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you like what you see, please hit the like button and then also hit subscribe so you can get more of my movie reviews. This next couple months that are coming up is going to be a flurry of movies that all the studios want you to see, and all of the people who are, voters for Oscars and Golden Globes and all that good stuff. There's going to be so much stuff coming out, and I am going to see all of it, and I'm going to do reviews on all of it. So that way you can kind of filter through the things that you want to see or don't want to see, kind of based on my recommendations. So there you have it. So hit the subscribe button, also hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. So now that that business is out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the review of Marshall. Now I know that this is coming up quite late. I did not see it when it was first released, so you can see my issues with MoviePass. The reason why it took me a minute to get to see this movie. So I saw it. Yeah, I finally got around to seeing Marshall because it was a movie that I was interested in seeing, and I actually hadn't really heard much about it. I also hadn't been looking to hear anybody's opinion about it, to be quite honest. But I finally got to see it, and I thought I would do a video about it to at the very least just document what my opinion was on it for the record. Chadwick Boseman is playing Thurgood Marshall, and I think Chadwick Boseman must have like a contract with Hollywood to where he gets to play all the important black men in history, because he's already done Jackie Robinson, he's done James Brown, now he's doing Thurgood Marshall. I think he's like got a lock on the black male biopic. But not even no shade to Chadwick Boseman, because he's a pretty great actor. So I mean, he does his thing. Especially if you haven't seen Get On Up, you should see that. Like, he is phenomenal in that movie. Also, he's about to be starring as Black Panther, the highly anticipated Black Panther movie. This film, I really wanted to like this film. I had very high hopes for this film, but honestly, I think it fell a little flat. And I will go through some of the reasons why I think that this movie did not do as well as it probably could have. The word that keeps popping up in my head is straightforward. It was a very straightforward film. There wasn't anything very artful about it. I mean, in terms of like the directing, the cinematography, the editing, the score, the writing, like nothing was very artful about it. It was very straightforward. Like, here are the facts. This happened, this happened, this happened. And nothing really happened in a very interesting way. And I think that the filmmakers kind of missed an opportunity to kind of exercise some bit of our artistic license, to use some of the tools at their disposal to make this a more interesting film. I think they were leaning very heavily on the events themselves, which are very interesting. So, as I mentioned before, Thurgood Marshall is the first African-American Supreme Court justice, but this movie does not focus on that. It only focuses on this one case that he tried, which was the case of a black man who was accused of raping a white woman in the state of Connecticut, in Bridgeport, Connecticut, to be exact. And this was it was a pivotal moment because the NAACP is kind of like, gosh, I don't want to say like this fledgling organization, but it is really counting on these civil rights wins in order to gain more support to keep the momentum going. So they're really, really leaning heavily on this case in particular to score them a win, to get that help that they very much need. So I believe that the filmmakers leaned very heavily on just what makes that interesting, and then didn't really make anything else interesting in it. They did do some things where they kind of tried to do something. So they showed some reenactments of like her version of events, and then they had some reenactments of his version of events. But really, to be quite honest, like, that's something that you could see in like a TV movie or like an episode of Snapped or Forensic Files or anything like that. So to me, it wasn't really all that interesting. And then, so I kind of was doing my research, just trying to figure out, who were the people that were involved in this. Reginald Hudlin is a director, and if you look at his IMDb page, he has like a credit for like directing like an episode or two in some of the most popular television shows. And there's a laundry list of them. So he's been around and he's done some things. Also kind of interesting to note that I just found out he directed House Party. Yeah, that Kid and Play movie? he did that. So like props to him, because that was like the seminal movie of that time, wasn't it? Was it not? Knowing that he is this director of these television shows, and a lot of them are like kind of formulaic, like Bones, like those kind of shows. It does feel like they took that we're filming a television show approach to it, where there's like already this formula of how you do things, and we're going to do that. And we're going to shoot it like it's the next episode of something. To talk about the writers, so the writers are Michael and Jacob Koskoff. I hope I am saying Koskoff right. So Michael and Jacob Koskoff are a father and son. The father is not a screenwriter. He is actually an attorney in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And the son is a screenwriter, but he doesn't have a lot of credits under his belt. Like, he's written a couple things before Marshall. So he's not a very experienced screenwriter. So you have someone who's not very experienced with someone who has zero experience at all wrote the screenplay. So it's not to say that people with those backgrounds, if they're artists, that they can't come up with some amazing movie. But when you kind of see the background and the experience level, then it all starts to kind of make sense. I do want to say I'm going to fangirl out on Sterling K. Brown. I think he is a fantastic actor. So Sterling K. Brown plays Joseph Spell. He is a defendant in this film. And Sterling K. Brown was in other things. He played Christopher Darden in the People vs. OJ series. He is on This Is Us, and he is a fantastic actor, and he was really good in this movie. And watching him, I hadn't really had this thought before, but watching him in this movie just kind of made me think, oh no, this guy is going to have something coming up in the future where he's going to have some role that's going to get him an Oscar. He's pretty amazing. So yeah, that was my take. If you want to learn something about history, about civil rights, about Thurgood Marshall, the movie's worth a watch. But as far as movies go, it was really just okay. The execution on this could have been way better. I was expecting it to be way better. I was a little disappointed. If you thought differently than I did, then tell me about it. Go in the comments and let me know what you thought about this film if you saw it. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you don't like this video, hit the like button. Just hit the like button, please. Oh gosh, that sounded so thirsty. I'm sorry. Just pretend I didn't do that. And then subscribe. If you want to get more movie reviews, please hit that subscribe button, and then also hit the notification bell so you can get my movie reviews when I post them up to YouTube. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.